Welcome to English with Steve.
Hey, English learners. Welcome back to English with Steve, where we make English feel natural and fun for your daily conversations. Today, I have someone very special joining me. Her name is Sarah. She grew up in the United States, studied communication, and has spent years helping people speak English with confidence, not in a classroom, but in real life. Sarah, it's so lovely to have you here.
Aw, thank you, Steve. I'm really happy to be here. I've been looking forward to talking about confidence in English because I know how much it means to so many of you watching. But before we get into it, it would mean the world to us if you subscribed to the channel and gave this video a like. We'll be showing up for you regularly, I promise. All right, let's get into it.
Sarah, welcome. I want to ask you something. You see someone sitting alone with a textbook, studying quietly, taking it seriously. Why does that same person go completely silent the moment it is time to actually speak?
I think about this often. I remember sitting alone with a textbook just like this, running my finger along the sentences, reading the same line 3 times. I understood every word on the page, but speaking those same words out loud felt like an entirely different language.
I had a student exactly like that. Quiet, thoughtful, always writing in his notebook. He told me once, "I know what I want to say. I just cannot make myself say it out loud." And I completely understood him.
And what stops them is not the English, it is the fear of being judged. But what I noticed with my friend, the moment she finally spoke, just one small sentence, something in her face changed, like a door opened.
That door, yes. And today, we want to help you open it. We have 3 simple ideas, things that real people use in real moments, not theory, not textbook rules. Let us start right now.
3 ideas. Simple and real, the kind that actually work when you are sitting in a cafe, notebook in front of you, and someone walks over and starts talking to you. Let us go.
Idea 1. Speak slowly. I remember mornings in college when I would stand in the kitchen waiting for the kettle, just going over what I needed to say that day. I was not practicing English. I was practicing communication, slowing down my thoughts. And it helped every time.
When you are nervous, everything speeds up. Your thoughts race and your mouth tries to follow. I used to do the same thing. Lean against the counter, arms crossed, just quietly rehearsing a sentence before a difficult conversation, slowing down on the inside first.
And you can practice this anywhere. I used to walk across campus talking quietly to myself, describing what I saw, what I was thinking, slowly. Nobody around, just my own voice. It felt strange at first, but it genuinely worked.
There is something about stopping and breathing, really breathing, that resets everything. I still do this before a big conversation. I stop, I look up, I take one slow breath, and I say to myself, one sentence at a time, that is enough.
Talking to yourself while you walk? I know it sounds unusual, but it is one of the most effective things you can do. I used to do it through the park near my university almost every afternoon. Simple sentences, slow and clear. Just me and my own voice.
Recording yourself is something I started doing years ago, and I still recommend it to everyone. Press record, say a few slow sentences, then listen back. The first time I did it, I was genuinely surprised. I sounded so much more calm than I felt inside.
Speak slowly. Write it in your notebook right now if you can. I wrote it down in my kitchen one morning and looked at it every single day after that. Because every time I remembered to slow down, everything that came out was clearer and stronger.
Idea 2. Use simple words. I used to sit in the library and reach for the most complicated vocabulary I could find. I thought it made me sound more prepared, but when I tried to use those words in real conversation, I would freeze completely halfway through the sentence.
I watched this happen so many times in my classroom. A student would start a sentence confidently, reach for a big word, lose it completely, and the whole conversation would just stop. That frozen silence is what really damages confidence, not the mistake itself.
But the moment that same student switched to simpler words, something remarkable happened. The sentence finished, the other person responded, the conversation kept moving, and the student's whole face changed. That shift is real, and it happens fast.
I keep a list of simple phrases on my phone even now, not because my English is weak, but because simple phrases work in every situation. I think, I feel, I need, I want. These phrases never fail you. They are always there when you need them.
Write 5 simple phrases tonight. Just 5. Say them before you sleep. Say them again in the morning. When a phrase feels natural, when it lives inside your mouth, you reach for it without thinking. And that is exactly what confidence feels like.
Talk to yourself during ordinary moments. Describe what you are doing out loud in English. I used to do this while making breakfast, just quietly narrating my morning. It sounds small, but small daily habits build real fluency faster than any single study session.
Hey, real quick, if you're enjoying this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. It means the world to me, and it helps more people find us. Now, let's keep going.
Even just sitting at the table after breakfast, looking out the window and thinking in English quietly, not studying, not translating, just letting English be the language of your ordinary morning. That daily comfort is where confidence quietly grows.
Idea 3. Keep going. This one is personal for me. I remember a dinner with colleagues early in my teaching career. I made a grammar mistake mid-sentence. In English, my own subject. I felt my face get warm, but I took a breath and I kept going. Nobody stopped me. Nobody even noticed.
And that is the truth about mistakes in conversation. The other person is listening to your meaning, not grading your grammar. When you keep going, the conversation keeps going. And by the end, you feel something you did not expect, relief, then pride.
Real confidence is built in small, real moments, not in classrooms. In places like this, a shop, a street, an ordinary exchange with a stranger. You stumble on a word, you pause, you find a simpler one, and you finish the sentence. That is it. That is the whole lesson.
And notice what happens after. You walk away, and something feels different, lighter, a little taller. That feeling, that quiet private pride after keeping going, that is what you are building every single time you choose not to stop.
Losing a word mid-sentence happens to everyone. It happened to me last week in a conversation with a colleague at a cafe. I paused, looked up for exactly 1 second, found a different word, and kept going. The conversation never broke. It never even slowed down.
Use another word, a simpler one, or describe what you mean. The conversation does not need the perfect word. It just needs to continue. And when it does continue, when the other person smiles and responds, that moment is worth more than any grammar lesson.
Even on a phone call where you cannot see the other person's face, keeping going feels different, stronger somehow, because there is nothing to hide behind, just your voice. And when you finish that call, having kept going through every hard moment, you feel it.
That moment after, when you lower the phone and just stand there quietly, that is a real moment. I have had that moment, that slow breath, that small smile, that quiet sense of, I did it. That feeling is what we want for every person watching this.
At the end of the day, when you sit quietly and look back at what you did, those small moments add up. A sentence here, a conversation there, each one written in you somewhere. Speak slowly. Use simple words. Keep going.
Writing things down at the end of the day is something I have always done. Just a few words. What I said, what worked, what I want to try again. It turns small moments into real progress, and progress, even quiet progress, deserves to be noticed.
And listening back to yourself, really listening, is one of the most honest things you can do. I remember the first time I heard my own recorded voice and thought, wait, that actually sounds okay. That moment changed something in how I saw myself.
Close the notebook, set it down, look forward. You worked today. You practiced. You kept going. That is not small. That is everything. And tomorrow you will do it again. A little easier, a little more natural, a little more you.
3 people, 3 different moments, one shared experience, learning to speak, learning to keep going, learning to trust their own voice. That is what this is all about.
Word 1, confident. It means you feel sure and ready. Not perfect, sure. I feel confident today. Say it slowly and feel what it does inside you. Confident.
Word 2, practice. It means doing something again and again until it feels natural. I practice English every day, not because I have to, because it works. Say it. Practice.
Word 3, brave. It means doing something even when you feel afraid. Every time you open your mouth in English, you are being brave. Say it and mean it. Brave.
Word 4, patient. It means giving yourself time, not rushing, trusting the process. I am patient with myself. Learning takes time, and that is completely fine. Say it gently. Patient.
Word 5, grow. Every sentence you say, every mistake you push through, every quiet morning you practice, you grow. Hold that word close today. Say it. Grow.
Now it is your turn. Open your phone right now, press record, say this one sentence, slowly. My name is blank. I am learning English, and I am proud of myself. Just that. One sentence. Press record. Thank you for being here today. Speak slowly. Use simple words. Keep going. We will see you in the next one.